All right, we're going to go ahead and get started here. As I said before, my name's Jacob Harder. I'm the customer support and quality assurance for the BinCloud software here. If you guys have any questions, again, we do have that chat feature, or feel free to unmute yourselves and fire off that question. We'll get it answered the best we can. I'm sure you guys have different layouts depending on what type of industry you're in. I just kind of have a general view here with the mass, volume, distance, material, last reading, timestamp, and all that. Sure, you guys have been poking around on the website since we had done the update a week or two ago. You've noticed added in, such as the status column here. This green dot here will display in either green or gray. And this is just kind of a visual aid to help ensure that you're making sure you're viewing the latest data, because not everybody utilizes that last reading timestamp here. This is just to ensure that, okay, if the status button, you know that your data is 4 hours or newer. If that data gets beyond 4 hours old, that status button is going to be gray. And so that's just kind of a visual aid, just so you can do a quick check and make sure that stuff's up to date there. We also have some other features that we added in as well. As many of you know, we do have the ability to view what we call the master details for your vessels. This is just essentially hitting the plus sign here and opening up that chart to view historical data. You can hover over the graph at different points to see those values, as well as the timestamp associated with that. But now you can actually export the data itself in the chart form, because before, our export feature up top here is just going to give you that data kind of in this grid format. But now you can open up these master details here and export the chart to a PDF that you can open up and resize and manipulate that as you see fit there. With that being said, we do have with the charts here, you'll see by default, you'll have the 0 at the bottom and the 16 at the top. For some people, this isn't as intuitive as they'd like, because realistically, the way the sensor's mounted on those bins, it's mounted on the top. So you're looking at those distance values from the top down. So we've added in this feature to where you can actually invert that distance chart. For some of these vessels here, you just have to click on your capacity bar, and this will open up the vessel details specifically. So this is where you can adjust those colored values. If you want to display green or yellow or red at certain levels, you can manipulate that here, as well as inverting that distance graph by checking that box. I will say though, so that'll work for individual vessels. You'll see here that this chart in particular is utilizing a vessel group with 2 vessels on it. If you do have a vessel group established, you'll need to invert the distance chart for both vessels a part of that group. So if I were to open up bin 4 here and select that reverse distance graph as well, I'll hit update to confirm that. It doesn't do it right away, but if you refresh the page and just open that back up, it will display that graph in the inverted format.
Yeah, I gotta click on distance.
Oh, that's correct. That is for the distance there. Moving on into the next feature that we've added in here. I know this is kind of specific for certain industries, mostly in the cement. We did add a new unit of measurement in terms of volume. This is going to be cubic yards. Again, this is kind of specific to certain industries, but it's just another way to kind of refine and view your data in a different way there. Do we have any questions at this point, or I can keep moving on through here?
Not seeing anything in the chat, so.
Okay.
Mobile.
The next features that we're gonna get into are specific to the mobile application. I'm not sure how many people are aware, but we had recently, within the last year, launched a mobile application available for Android and Apple devices. Those can be found in the respective app stores for those. All you have to do is search for BinCloud. It will be the same login credentials that you use for the website. So that's going to be your email address that you have and whatever passwords that you have established for that. The quickview, like with the other quickview on the desktop application, those views are going to be specific to the user. So if you choose to edit what 4 pieces of information you have, like out of the box, it's going to be mass, headspace in terms of mass, the material height and volume. Those can be changed and that won't affect how other users are viewing the data. That's going to be unique to each individual user. And you can see that we have a plethora of selections there if you want to view nothing but volume, or if you want to look at your truck space, you can put in that last reading timestamp. There's just a bunch of different selections there. In my personal preference, I like to have that last reading timestamp on there. And then truck space if you're utilizing that. But again, that's unique to each user. So please feel free to customize that as you see fit. So the mobile application, since it is relatively new, there are constantly being features added into this. Some of the more important ones that we've added in this last release cycle include push notifications. So we did have the alerts feature that was previously added on the desktop version of this. And this is going to kind of branch off of that to where if you have alerts set up for your vessels, it'll send you push notifications to your phone, not just through the text message, but through the application itself. And so this notifications page, this is currently blank because there's not any notifications set up for this one. But you would typically see them going to have the message of your alert that shows, hey, bin 3 is below 15% at this time. And you'll see that listed there. They'll be listed in bold text if they're unread, and I believe it'll be just normal text if it's not read, or if it is read, excuse me. But it's just another way to kind of view that data on the go. And as I said, we're going to constantly be adding new features to this, but we do have a couple more that we have added in here as well. As you had seen, we have the quick view settings that you can adjust there. Another feature that we have here is going to be the chart. So like we had on the desktop where you can export the chart, you can't quite export it on this with it being a mobile device, but you do have the ability to view that data itself. And I believe that it's kind of in a set format. You can do the mass and distance. I know in the future we're going to be adding volume and possibly percentage as well. But this is just kind of a way to expand that data and view it historically on a mobile app without having to access the desktop version of the website.
So you can also, the chart, if you have a group, the chart on this kind of dashboard view, the chart will show each vessel on it. And then if you wanted to see the individual ones, you click here on the top of the card. And then that will show you each individual. Here it's showing you each cable, but it'll show you each individual vessel so that you can see a chart for each individual vessel within that group. So, like Jake was saying, we're making updates and adding features all the time. So always pay attention to see when we're sending out these emails for these update webinars. But if there's any questions, you have trouble with anything, if you need anything, obviously you can use the chat feature on BinCloud itself and talk directly to Jacob or myself. You can always send an email to support@binmaster.com. And then you can always give us a call. That's 402-434-9102 and just ask for BinCloud support. And we'll be able to help you out. There's also through the chat feature, you should be able to get to our help desk. There is a request a feature function there. So if there was something you wanted, you can put it in there and we'll look at it and make a decision on if it's something that we can do right away, or we can do our best to make everything work for you. So again, appreciate you coming. I know this was short and sweet. If you joined late and you didn't see everything, this is being recorded. We'll get it posted to the help desk. And again, if you're trying to find that, click on support in the top right, and that'll open the chat. And there should be a link on there. He's going to bring it back up so we can show you. 1 second. Bear with us. Okay, so when you click support and bring up the chat, it should give you these top suggestions. The first one there, visit the help desk. Go ahead and click that, visit our support page, and that will bring up our support page. And so from here, you can view our guides and our how-tos and go through and learn. Maybe there's something you didn't know about. And then if there's a feature up there, up top on the page, you click submit a request. And you can put in whatever you're hoping to see. One thing I did want to bring up that was not new this time, but just want to make sure you're all aware. The subscriptions, or your subscriptions. So before the last release, the only option was to use PayPal to pay online, but we know that's not how a lot of you guys work. So now if you go to subscriptions, you'll see this invoice button. And what this is if you click confirm, you will be basically agreeing to extend your license by a year. And then our billing department will send you out an official invoice. And we record that. We record who clicked it and who agreed to it. So if there's ever any issues, you can see who did it and we can see who did it. But this way, if you need to resubscribe, you can just click invoice and you'll be ready to go. And we've also are working on reminder emails and pop-up notifications so that you know when your subscription's coming due. So appreciate everyone coming. Looks like we kept that to about 15 minutes. Let us know if you have any questions, concerns, or trouble. Thanks for being BinCloud customers, and we'll see you next time.